Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do the real review of the Samsung Gear S2. Now, just like all of my other videos, I'm going to start off talking about everything I don't like first, and then we'll get into everything that I do like. So let's get right into it. First thing I don't like about this watch is the price. Alright, now the price is just too damn high. You heard me say that about a lot of other products. The price for this is just too high. This watch, with the limited functionality that it has, it should have cost you about, I'd say $200 for this one, and maybe $250 for the Classic. Now, $50 extra for the Classic, all you're getting is the leather band and the little grooves on the bezel. To me, that's not worth it. Alright, that's not worth another 50 bucks. And it's actually a little bit smaller. So the price for this is just a little bit too high. Alright, I don't like that. Next, the size. Now, I've never been a big fan of the round watches, but they're starting to grow on me, so I'm giving it a fair chance. But the watch face is just so small. Now, keep in mind, this is a smartwatch, so you want to be reading emails, you want to be sending text messages and doing a lot of stuff on it. The watch face itself is just a little bit on the small side, especially after coming from something like this, like the Gear 2. After coming from the Gear S, not the Gear 2, the Gear S, going down to something like this, it's a huge difference in size. Alright, so I'm not really feeling the size too much. Is that a big deal? You'll probably get used to it. Next, the band. Alright, now I'm not feeling this band, and this goes back to what I was saying from the beginning with the price. Now you spend $300 on a watch after taxes, you're looking at, $330, depending on where you live at. You spend all that money on a smartwatch, and look at the band that they give you. This is a cheap little rubber band. All right, now let's just go back in Samsung history real quick. And this, and Samsung has a way of going backwards sometimes. They like to take, 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards with all of their products. So let's look at the original Gear. Now, a lot of people did complain about this band that it was too, stiff and rigid, but look at the locking mechanism. Got some company branding on it, had the speaker built into it. Nice solid band. Same thing with the Gear 2. This one was more flexible, but Samsung branding on the clasp. Nice locking mechanism. Let's look at the Gear S. All right, nice big thick band. Yeah, it's a little on the cheap rubbery side, but look at the locking mechanism. Samsung branding, nice and shiny, nice and official. Look at the Gear S2 band. All right, cheap rubber, no branding on it at all. Looks flimsy, looks cheap. All right, now, this band is changeable, so hopefully they will come out with something like this. But I take my watch on and off a lot. I hate having to go like this and try to figure out which hole I was just on, which is the most comfortable hole. I like these other bands way better. So I'm not feeling this little cheap band, especially for $300 and change. If for that price, they should have at least threw in 2 extra ones. All right, Samsung, if you're listening, for that price, you should have threw in the black, red, and the white. Or maybe red, white, and blue. Whatever. Just you should have threw something extra in with these little cheap flimsy bands. Not really feeling that. Next, this watch has limited apps. Now, if y'all watch the Samsung press release and all of that, they said at launch it's supposed to be 1,000 apps. And remember I told y'all last week before I even touched the watch, if they say 1,000, that means you could probably figure there's really going to be 500. And out of that 500, there's really only going to probably be 100 that you'll actually use. Now, with that being said, this is brand new OS that ties in. There's not even a good 100 apps that I would say that I would use. Now, there's a lot of watch faces. There's 1,001 watch faces. I will say that. But as far as functional apps, very limited. All right, very limited amount of apps to choose from. So not really feeling that too much. But like I said, this is a brand new, OS. So hopefully, once the developers start getting their hands on everything, whatever, or maybe they'll make it cross-compatible and you can use our Android Wear apps on it. We'll see. Next, now, let's talk about lag. This watch is super smooth, but it does have an occasional lag. And if y'all watch my unboxing video I did, I don't think, I can't remember, but somebody left a comment and it kind of stuck to my mind. I think it was the Apple Watch or the Hawaii watch, not the Huawei. I don't like that name either. So for now on, I'm calling that watch the Hawaii watch. So whenever I say the Hawaii watch, fellas, I'm talking about this one. All right, from now on, this is the Hawaii watch. When I did that video, y'all seen I was scrolling through, and y'all seen it on camera for yourself. It was a lot of lag. when you scroll through the apps. Now, granted, I did have a whole bunch of apps open in the background. You could close those apps if you want, but it was a little bit of lag, and I noticed maybe now I've been wearing this watch for about a week straight. I noticed maybe 2 days I went to scroll and there was some lag. Now, I will say this also, if you just turn the watch off and turn it back on, back to being super smooth. So this is one of those things that you might have to be vigilant, because it's not too much RAM on there. So you might have to be vigilant and close out the apps in the background. Otherwise, you might get some occasional lag. All right, so I'm not really feeling that though. For $300, I don't want no lag at all. Next, now, this is the last thing I'm going to complain about, because I know y'all probably saying this dude don't like nothing about this watch. This is the thing that I don't like about this watch the most, is there's no speaker. Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. A lot of these watches on the market right now don't have speakers. Yeah, that's true. But a lot of them do. All right, you got the Apple Watch. You got the big boy, the Gear S. You know, you got other watches on the market. Some of these no-name brand, Asian watches from overseas. A lot of watches do have speaker. So once you're going from a watch that has a speaker to one that doesn't, it's a huge downgrade. Huge. All right, it's a Donald Trump size huge downgrade. Now, especially for a dude like me, I actually use the speaker a lot on my Gear S. Now, some people say, okay, the speaker is kind of gimmicky. Nobody walking around really playing music from their wrist. That's kind of gimmicky. Yeah, well, things, like I always say, things are a gimmick if you don't use it. If you're using something every day, then it's not a gimmick. Now, for me, I'm in the car driving all the time. So when I get phone calls and I'm rocking this watch, I answer directly from the phone. I keep my hand on the steering wheel and I talk regular. I do that all the time. Every day that I use this watch and I get a phone call, answer directly from the watch. This way you're not forced to be walking around with a Bluetooth headset on. Now, nobody's using the old school Bluetooth headsets anymore. You're using something like the Samsung Level U, or you're using the LG Tone, whatever. But a lot of times, you just don't want to have something around your neck. Now, I use the Level U's all the time. But sometimes, you just don't want to have something around your neck. So, you had more options with the Gear S. Right? More options. So, having a speaker on the watch, it just gives you more options. With this one right here, with the Gear S2, no speaker. So, basically, if you're using it as an alarm, you got to be wearing it. It has an alarm feature on it, but what good is that if you're not wearing it? At least with the Gear S2, with the Gear S, you can set an alarm and you can have your watch on the table and it'll actually go off. When you're getting phone calls, the watch will actually ring. Now with this one right here, if you say you just took your watch off, maybe you want to do some stuff, you want to get dirty a little bit, you don't want to mess up your watch. If you're getting a phone call and your phone is not in your pocket, you miss that call. So having to speak on the watch, it might not be a deal breaker for you, but it's not even a deal breaker for me. But that's just a huge downgrade. That's why I'll never be able to let this one go until something else better comes out on the market that has a speaker. This one is still going to be in my heavy rotation. All right, so no speaker on this. Serious fail right there. Now, all week long, everybody been asking me, which watch do I like better, the Gear S or do I like the S2? And of course, I'm going with the Gear S. I mean, this is still the top dog right now out of all of the watches I got. Now, I'm starting to get back into the watch game heavy. Out of all of the watches I got, this is still the best. So we don't even have to waste too much time debating on why, even though this is a standalone watch. Now, keep in mind, they're all coming out with the 3G model of the Gear S2. Will it have a speaker on it? I don't know, but I doubt it. You're still probably going to have to use a Bluetooth headset. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us and drop a speaker on it. Who knows? But this one's standalone watch. All right, no phone necessary. Yeah, you have to pay a couple of dollars a month. I think I'm paying like $8 a month, but no phone necessary. So how many times I'm up in the gym and I got my phone, off? I just turn the phone off to save battery and I'm up in the gym and I still get all my phone calls, all my emails, all my text messages. The screen is a lot bigger. You have a full-size keyboard that you could actually use. You have a speaker. It's just all around better. You got same changeable bands, but you got a more fancy looking, more classy looking band. It's just all around shutting this watch down. Now, we could talk about PPIs and all that. Of course, this one has more, but it's not about that right now. If you're looking for one watch to get overall, and keep in mind, you could get one of these right now for $300, so it's the same price. And you don't have to get a contract with this, regardless of what people think. You could still use it Bluetooth directly to your phone. You don't have to pay that bill. Now, if you go to Sprint or something and they won't sell it to you without taking the contract, it's not a real contract, though. What they're not going to tell you is, since it's a watch, You could cancel that contract same day. Buy the watch, sign up for the $9 a month, go home and cancel that. And you still got the watch and you use it Bluetooth. No $200 disconnection fee or nothing. All right, so with that being said, now let's talk about everything I do like. I know what y'all saying right now. Why did you even buy that watch? If everything about it you don't like, why did you even buy it? Well, it's just like saying, just because you don't like something means that, something about something means you're not going to buy it. I don't like the fact that a Ferrari doesn't have back seats. Is that going to stop me from buying one? Of course not. I don't like the fact that, my car has a V10. I put in $60 gas on Monday and Tuesday night the tank is on E. I don't like that. But is that going to make me want to go out and get a new car? Of course not. All right, of course not. So just because I don't like a lot of things about something doesn't mean that it's a shit product. Doesn't mean that I'm still not going to buy it and still not going to use it. All right, I just got to throw that out there. And on a side note, y'all got to remember that companies like Samsung and all these big companies, y'all might not think that they give a shit about little people like us, but they listening. They listening to what the customers say, because when this first watch came out, everybody didn't like the stiff band. Everybody didn't like the camera on the side. They thought it looked stupid. When the second watch came, all upgrades. Y'all remember when the Galaxy Note first came out? Everybody complained about, the plastic build and all that. Then next year, they step it up. So the thing is, you can't just be silent about stuff that you don't like. You got to say it, because you never know, somebody might hear it and they might upgrade it. So Samsung, if you're watching this video, this band is whack. Make a bigger watch face, especially going from something like this to this. Come on, make a bigger watch face. Just listen to everything that I didn't like. All right, and flow with that. Now, let's talk about everything I do like. First up, the watch does look nice. Now, when you put it on and you wear it, if you buy the sport version, it does look very sporty. When I got this on my wrist and I'm rocking sweatpants and a t-shirt or something, it does look sporty. All right, I'm going to give it to that. It looks sporty. It looks classy. The buttons aren't obtrusive. It's not like a big knob sticking out the side. Sleek looking buttons to it. It just looks nice. All right, so when you're wearing it, I will say that it does look nice. I have been getting a few compliments on it. It looks nice. All right, so I'm definitely liking, especially since I went with the sport version, I wanted this one to wear with sneakers and wear with hoodies and all that. That's why I got it. That's why I got the sport version as opposed to the classic. So it does look sporty. It fits the name. Next, now this is one of the things I like about this watch the most is the display. Now you got to zoom in on this real quick. We don't have, even if you PPIs and all that, even if you're not part of the PPI patrol, this watch face is beautiful. Now, over the years, y'all know how I feel about AMOLED displays. This watch face is beautiful. Okay, the display on this is amazing. When you're looking at pictures, when you're looking at graphics, when you're looking at apps, everything on this is bright, crystal clear. It's just beautiful. All right, so if you don't know about PPIs, just Google it. But this probably got the highest one out on the market, and it shows. Just by the naked eye, by looking at it, it shows. All right, so the display on this is serious. Okay, it's a serious win. Next, now this is one of those double-edged swords. I said I didn't like Tizen because of the fact it had limited apps, but one thing I do like about Tizen is it does work and it looks great. Tizen has great graphics. Let me show you something. Like when you get messages, look at the background. Now this is totally different from Android Wear. Android Wear, it does have nice notifications too, but I love the Tizen notifications. When you get look at social, it has the app icon in the back. Notice the YouTube is red with the actual play button. So some of them don't show up like that, but a lot of them do. And a lot of them show up as you get a fresh notification. So you might not see it right here, but if you get a fresh notification from, say, Google Plus, it'll be a nice big red plus. Looks beautiful. All right, so if you're one of those people that's into the fancy looking graphics and animations and all that, this watch definitely has nice graphics, and the Tizen OS, it does run basically smooth, other than the occasional lag I had here and there, little teeny bits of lag, but it does run super smooth. And just to do a quick comparison, I will say that it runs a lot smoother than the Gear S. If you're going to battle in lag factor, this one lags way less than this one. Now, some of y'all going to say, oh, my Gear S never lags or whatever. Okay, that's cool. But mine's does. A lot of times you scroll to the side. Sometimes it gets stuck scrolling. Sometimes you click on the app. It won't open up. Sometimes it takes long to react. You got to clear out the apps and all that. Reset the watch every day too. That's cool. But this one, in my opinion, runs a lot smoother. Next, let's talk about the apps. Now, even though it's very limited apps, hold up, let's see. See, I just got a tweet. All right, shout out to Max. He betting on the Niners. Max, I'll take that bet. I'm going to talk to you in a minute. All right, let's talk about apps real quick. Now, the apps, they do work. Very limited apps, but the ones that's on here, they do actually work. So let's check out something like CNN. Let's go to CNN. Beautiful animations. You know, Tyson has that ring when stuff is loading. Looks nice. So you got your top stories. Featured, US. Let's go to, look, you see how the pictures come out? Now, the camera might not do this justice, but when you're wearing this and you got this on your wrist at night and you're reading some stuff, it just looks beautiful. Okay, let's see who got blown up today. All right, let's click on this. All right. So now you use the bezel, you scroll down, read the information. Now this is where my first complaint came up about the size. You're using a smartwatch and you want to read stuff like this. Circle watches, you see how some of the words get cut off? It's just a little bit harder. That's one thing I like about the square watches. You see all the words, nothing gets cut off. All right, but the apps do work. So you got CNN. CNN is one that works pretty good. Let's see what else. You got your stock stuff, your alarm, your timer, stopwatch, your music player. Now the music player works good. No speaker, but if you got Bluetooth headset, you can play it right from the phone, right from the watch to your headset and listen to it, or you can play it right from the watch to your phone. So if I click, let's see. I got my phone in my pocket. The classic Samsung song. I clicked it and it came on. Let's go back to the lock screen. See, it came on. So I'll pause it. Pauses on the phone. So you're able to control your music. This is kind of hot now. If you got your phone set to a Bluetooth speaker, you can control the party right from your wrist. This is going to be hot in summertime when you're having a barbecue and all that, and you got your big, Iowa Exos 9, or you got your big blue party, or whatever. You got your Brookstone joint, whatever you got, you can control the music from right here. So that's a nice little feature right there. I'm just going to run through and see what else is there, anything worthwhile mentioning. Find my phone, we covered that already. That's mandatory. Voice memo, Yelp. Now Yelp works good too. Let's take a look at Yelp. Now in your neighborhood, you might not really need this, but when you're traveling and you're going other places that you never went, this is going to come in handy. So now I pretty much know all the bars around here, of course. But say I just happen to be chilling somewhere, maybe downtown Brooklyn, that I'm not at too much. Click on bars, get your location, and it'll bring up the bars that's in that area. And the same thing with shopping, hotels, a whole bunch of other stuff. You see, this one is right around the corner from me, Old Lavador. Shout out to them over there. Tavern, different ones. It shows you if it's open or not. I don't know, the white balance, I don't know if you can see that, but it'll let you know if it's open or closed. Crazy Willies. All right, so a whole bunch of bars and all that. You got shopping, beauty places, fitness, airports, hotels, hospitals. Yelp works great on this. Let's see. Now, Gear Torch. It's not a real flashlight. All it's going to do is illuminate the screen. And I did use it the other day. Now, I jumped in the car, dropped some contraband in the front seat. I threw in the Gear Torch, and I was able to find it easily. So it'll really work in somewhere that's extra dark. But don't try to use this to do no repairs or do some crazy stuff. Don't do that. It's just going to be a bright white screen. Now, this one right here, this is a little cheesy app, but it will give you a quick heads or tails. Just press the button. Heads. Press it again, heads, tails. So this is just like a little randomizer. You got maps. Now the maps work fine. You got Milk. Now this is an app right here. A lot of people don't use this, but I actually prefer this over Pandora. Once you start using Milk, trust me, you'll like this. You'll like this more than Pandora. All right, so you got all your different genres of music. What you call it? Milk works nice. What you call it? All right, so Milk is good. Let's see what else we got. All right, now, one app that I really like on this though, Buddy. Let me show you how Buddy works. So you click on Buddy, you have all your saved people on here. So now say I want to hit up my daughter, right up. All right, see, so you can just call or you can send a message, right? So now say I click on message. All right, now you can use the S voice to send a voice text. You can actually type, or you can send pre-written messages. So let's check out the pre-written messages, which you can change. So what I did was I changed these to all of my basic pre-written messages that I use every day. Then get my usual Netflix and chill. Love you too. I say that a lot. Nah, fam, can't make it. All right, whenever I text my girl, hi girly, you know, how's it going? Whatever. You could change these, play with them as much as you want. All right, so the Buddy app works good. Matter of fact, one more thing I wanted to show you with Buddy though. Let's send a text message real quick. This is something I do like now that I was going to mention next, which is S-Voice. S-Voice has stepped up on this watch. Now, if y'all remember, Samsung's S-Voice usually been like the worst ever. You know, when you try to compare that to Siri, it's always been a major fail. S-Voice, over the years, people don't use it so much, but try out your S-Voice lately. Over the years, S-Voice been stepping up. So let's try an S-Voice message real quick and see if it works. What you doing tonight? All right, what you doing tonight? I hit the button on the top. All right, so message sent. All right, so that's a hot little feature right there. I'm feeling that. So I'm feeling the apps. The apps that's on here, they do work, even though it's very limited apps, but the ones that's on here, they do actually work. Next. Now, let's talk about what I like next. Even though I don't like these little cheesy bands, one thing I like about this is the bands do change very easy. All you got to do is press the button and swap out the bands. Now, with little flimsy bands like this, I don't expect, even if you want the factory Samsung ones that they're going to come out with some other ones, of course. I don't expect them to cost more than 20 bucks. Now, Samsung, if y'all try to sell this band right here, a red one, for $30, I'm not buying it. I repeat, I'm not buying it for $30. $20, I'll get it. I'm pretty sure all the aftermarket companies going to come out with a whole set, red, green, yellow, blue, orange, you know, the whole set for one price, whatever. But I do like the fact that you could easily swap out the bands and you can step your color game up. Because if y'all watch my Gear S videos, I got all the different color bands and it's fun being able to just change them real quick. The last thing you want to have to do is be worrying about little pins and having to grab tools and all that stuff just to change your band. No, this is let's say a less than 30-second change for each side. All right, so I'm feeling that. Next, the battery. Now, I'm definitely feeling the battery on this. Now, we can't compare it with the Gear S because this is the standalone version. So with the radios in it, of course, it's going to drain more. But this watch right here, Samsung said you could get 2 days worth of usage out of it. And you actually really could. Now, it depends on the type of person you are. If you like me and you're getting savage notifications all day long, yeah, your watch is going to be vibrating a lot more than somebody who's not getting notifications all day. So their watch is going to last longer. Even with me being on, you know, internet warrior status, and I'm getting emails and alerts all day long, I still managed to get a full day, forgot to put it on the charger, and the next day it was on 36%. So I probably wasn't going to get 2 full days, but I could have put it on power saving mode, and I still could have had it like this with that little, you know, just a regular clock face on it, and I would have got 2 days. So with heavy use, maximum beast mode use, you're definitely going to easily get a full day. All right, easily. Now, there's really, you know, unless you got a Netflix and chill night and you spend the night somewhere, there's really no reason that you shouldn't just charge it every night and just be on full status. But, you know, you go out somewhere, you meet somebody, and maybe you spend the night, turn it off at night. Just turn it off and save whatever you can. But really, if you just, you know, going and coming every day, just charge it every day and you'll be fine. Next, the vibration. Now, even though this watch doesn't have, you know, a speaker on it, one thing I will say is the vibration on this is very strong. So when you're getting a phone call, if you got this watch on tight, now if you're wearing it loose, yeah, you might not, you know, feel it so much, but you're still going to feel it. But if you're wearing it tight enough where it's, you know, pressing against your skin, when you get a phone call, you're going to know that you just got a phone call. And if you go to settings, let me show you something real quick. Hold on a second. Sleeping. I know. All right, let me go to settings real quick. Let me show you something. All right, so let's breeze through the settings real quick. When you got your display, go to vibration. All right, so I got my intensity on strong. That's nice that you could actually change it. So you can put weak or none. When you put this on strong vibration, you're not going to miss that call. You're not going to miss that message. Trust me. I did. You see a little lag just now? Had a little bit of lag just now. Just a teeny bit. All right, well, that's one thing I do like. I like the heavy vibration. So at least when I'm driving and my car's mad loud and I got the music on full throttle, I can still feel the vibrations. I can still feel it. So I'm definitely feeling that. Next. Now, this watch does have 1001 watch faces. All right, so let me show you. And one thing about the watch faces, highly customizable too. Now these are just some, you know, standard ones I had on here that are from my old watches. But if you scroll through, if you look at the bottom, you see how that came up stylized? All right, so when you click on stylize, now you could change the font. You could change the color. It depends on which watch face you pick. More stuff that you can style it to. All right, so let's go back again. All right, you see stylized, clicked up on that one. Some of them you can't, some of them just stuck the way they are, but some of them you could change. Let's hit stylize on this one. 3 cities. Change the settings, drop a setting in the ring. You know, a lot of different other stuff you could do. But one thing I will say about this watch is there's no shortage of watch faces. Now, these are just the ones I happen to have on here right now. But if you go to get more and you go in the market, you're going to find there's 1,001 watch faces. So if you're buying this watch as basically just a watch that you want to check your messages and, you know, use it as minimal functionality, but you just want to have you just want to be in the smartwatch game, yeah, you're going to have a watch face to change every day of the week. No problem with that at all. Next, now this is probably one of my favorite things about this watch, maybe out of the top 2 things I like about it the most, the wireless charger. Now this wireless charger on this, it charges up the watch. All right? Let me get my mind right. It charges up the watch really quickly, but the best part about it is you don't have to fumble around with it. There's no looking at it. There's no worrying about lining up the pins. You see how the notification just pops up? Looks nice. There's no fumbling around, no trying to line up pins or nothing. Charger's on the table, put it right on the charger, walk away. You don't have to look back to see if it's charging, even though there's a big bright LED on it. So you will see, getting more notifications. You scroll down with the notifications. I love the OS, the way the notifications come through. Definitely feeling that part. All right, let's click on the message. Scroll through the message. Feeling that. But like I was saying, there's a big LED on the charger. So once you put it on, you'll see the LED. Walk away. The wireless charger on this, probably the best one out. Other than Apple. The Apple one is just as good. Just drop it on and walk away. Now, with the Hawaii watch, that's one thing that I'm giving y'all a heads up. One thing I don't like about the Hawaii watch, I love saying that, is the charger. The charger on this one is kind of a headache to get to line it up to these pins on the bottom, even though it's, you know, nothing that you got to clip on like on the S or like this stuff. None of these clip on chargers, but it's still annoying. If you get a Gear S2, you're going to love that wireless charger. You put it anywhere. You could put it on the table. You could use double-sided tape and stick it somewhere because the watch charges on it sideways. Now, with the Hawaii watch, I try to use double-sided tape, and you can't use it. You have to, unless you have a square table and you put it right at the very edge of the table, then you could double-sided tape it down. Otherwise, you can't do that. And not to mention, you got to pick it up to line up the pins. So I'm really feeling the wireless charger on this. The best one Samsung came out with yet. Out of all of the Samsung watches, this one got the best charger. You're not going to have to replace that. Somebody just left me a comment a few minutes ago, and whoever that was, shout out to you, said they watched the unboxing for this, and I told you how many times I broke this one, and he left a comment saying, oh, I never broke mine. Broke it today. You're never going to have to worry about breaking this charger. All right, so you ain't going to have to spend no money. So I'm feeling that. Now, last but not least, I was trying not to make this video too long. Last but not least, the thing I like about this watch the most is the rotating bezel. And that might be your reason for buying this watch. The rotating bezel, this is the best thing since pants with pockets. Right? The rotating bezel on the smartwatch is the best. Now, every time I grab this Hawaii watch, I know it's Huawei, I know. Every time I grab the Hawaii watch, I'm wishing that the bezel would rotate. Imagine if this watch had a rotating bezel. This might be one of the hottest ones in the game right now, but it's not. Rotating bezel on this means 9 times out of 10 you don't have to touch the screen. And if you notice, when the screen goes off, I'll wait a second. When the screen goes off, the more you touch it, the more you get those smudges on it. And after a while, you have to walk around with little, you know, if you like me, you got OCD, you go like this. You see, now it's clear. But sometimes you get the smudges from doing a whole bunch of motions. At least with this, you don't have to touch it if you don't really want to. All right, so you use the rotating bezel, not only to scroll side to side, but when you're reading a message or something, you can scroll up and down and read that message. Let me see if I got any messages I could scroll through and show y'all real quick. Let's go to apps real quick. Let's go to messages. All right, let me see if I can click on a message. All right, well, this is the message just now. This only, oh, there's some more stuff. All right, so you can scroll through the messages like this. So no swiping up and down on the screen. You can use the button to hit back. So if you want, you technically don't have to swipe the screen for a lot of stuff. Some stuff you will have to. Most of the stuff you won't have to swipe the screen. But just overall, with the stunting factor, the rotating bezel is just sick. All right, this is the best design. All smartwatches should have this, and I'm pretty sure in the future a lot of them will, because this is a hot design. That might be your main reason for buying this, just because you want this rotating bezel. All right, it's sick. Now, a lot of people thought this one was too big. If you thought this one was too big, then this right here, this is a great watch. So with that being said, rotating bezel, let's end this video now. Rotating bezel is the best thing about this watch. It's just super sick. Super sick and super functional. It's not just for display. It actually functions and it actually works. All right, so now I did this whole video holding a watch like this in my hand, but when you put the watch on and you're wearing it, the rotating bezel really comes in handy. All right, so when I'm driving or something, I get an email or alert. I just scroll right through like this. No swiping up and down. When you're eating that fried chicken, you don't have to worry about getting grease on the screen. Just swipe it just like this with the bezel. And you see right now it's running lag free right now. And when you get to the last one, it gives a little vibration. It's running lag free right now. You hit the button, go back to home. Sick. Rotating bezel is sick. And one thing I forgot to mention too, the sensors on this work excellently. You're never gonna have to break your wrist. Now I know when I did the unboxing video and I was showing y'all this one, I forgot that I had just put it on Do Not Disturb. That's why it wasn't working. This one works great too. But this one is just fluent. Sometimes this one lags out. I have had times where I went to check the time and I flipped it up and it didn't flip up and I had to press the home button. I've had plenty of times where that happened. Haven't had that yet with this one. Minimum flick of the wrist action. I know, look at the flick of the wrist. Minimum look at the flick of the Rick action. Minimum flick of the Rick. All right, let's try that one more time. Minimum flick of the wrist action to get this to light up. All right, minimum, no breaking the wrist. All right, so that does work flawlessly. So with that being said, let's see, got an alert right there. I love how the emails and alerts, beautiful. With that being said, should you buy this watch? All right, should you buy this? Now, I will say this. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. If you just want a Samsung watch, all right, you just want a Samsung watch, I would pass on this one and I would get the Gear S. The Gear S does everything this one does, plus more. It's bigger, brighter, better. Yeah, not brighter, but it's just bigger, it's just better, it's just more functional. You're going to get more of your money's worth. Now, if you're just one of those people, which is nothing wrong with that, if you're one of those people that you don't care, this one is old, you don't want the old one, you want the new one, then yeah, I would say get it. I'm not going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give this a go. And for all of y'all, trolls out there, I'll put a number on this. All right, just for y'all. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give this watch, I'll give it a solid 6.5. All right, I don't really use the numbers. I give it a 6.5 though. In my book, it's still a go because I got time right now. I could have took this back to Best Buy and got my money back. But I'm feeling, there's a lot of stuff I'm not feeling, but I'm feeling more stuff than stuff that I'm not feeling. And when I'm wearing this watch every day, it does look nice. It feels nice. I love the vibrations on it. I love the way the notifications pop up. I like a lot of stuff about it, so I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. Now, should you buy this one, or should you get the Hawaii watch? Should you get the Moto, 360 second generation? Should you just wait for the LG Urbane 2? That's up to you. I would say if you're in the market for a watch right now, though, it depends, man. Personally, I like Tizen better than Android Wear. So you look at the Android Wear notifications. Now, they do come up. They take up the whole screen. You got the picture in the background. It does look nice. I ain't gonna front. It does look nice. Two different kind of OSs though. Two different kind of OSs. If one is more colorful and fruity, and one is more streamlined and classy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make that choice yourself. I'm not gonna tell you though to go out and buy this one, because of the rotating bezel, and I'm not going to tell you to don't buy it because it don't have a speaker. You know, that's the whole point of this video. The whole point of this video is I tried to cover as much stuff as I can, so certain things might fit your need. You might have a Gear S and always have it on silent. You might never use the speaker on it, so that might not be a big deal for you. So whatever. So I try to cover as much stuff as I can to help you make your own decision. Because at the end of the day, it's not my money, it's your money. So you got to buy the watch that you like. Now, like I said, if you ask me right now, which one would I take? I'm taking the Gear S. If you ask me which one would I take out of this and the Hawaii watch, I'm taking the Hawaii watch. If you ask me which one would I take out of this or the Gear 2, I'm going with the Gear 2. All right, now the Gear 1, forget about that. So basically, you can see for yourself, like, yeah, this is not my favorite watch, but it's not trash. All right, it's not trash. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to say it's the worst watch. It's not the best watch. It's right in the middle. If you got $300 to spend, though, if I was you, I would wait a minute. Unless you just need to jump in the smartwatch game today, I would wait a minute. I would wait to see what LG looks like. I would wait for that one. I would definitely check out the Hawaii watch now. You might have to drop an extra couple of dollars on this one. But I would wait. I would wait. Now, a lot of people are asking me about, am I going to get the classic version of this? And the answer is no. The watch, now the screen size is the same, but the case is a little bit smaller. So I'm already complaining about this watch looking small on my big wrist. I don't want smaller. All right, and the ridges on the bezel, that's not worth 50 bucks. I'm not a big fan of leather bands. So no, I'm passing on the classic. Now, you might like that, though. You might like that. All right, so with that said, like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this a 6.5. In my book, 6.5. That's all right. All right, that's not. I can't say this is a major gold. It's not a major win. All right, because if I said it's a win, that means the price is right. If I said it's a major go, that means that I'm highly recommending this. On a scale of 1 to 10, I say this is all right. All right, this is all right. It's not trash, but it ain't the best in the world. If you run out and buy one tomorrow, you're not going to be disappointed. You're going to have fun with it. It's going to serve its purpose. All right. Now, with all that being said, it's 10:30, a little bit after 10:30, Sunday night. So you already know what that means. Amazon Warrior coming in a couple of minutes. So let's get up out of here. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. If there's anything that I missed that y'all wanted to know. Y'all know I try to respond to as many comments as I can. It is what it is. But hit me up in the comments. Let me know what's y'all favorite watch. What watch y'all getting next? Are y'all gonna get this one? Y'all gonna pass on this one? Y'all messing with the Hawaii watch? Let me know what y'all doing, yo. I like to know everything. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the Amazon Warrior on Sundays. Y'all already know, Stream Gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, almost forgot one more thing. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Flossy. I'm out. Deuces. Oh yeah, and a side note too, anybody that, somebody's probably going to ask too, if you like this watch face, it's called beamer clock. It's supposed to look like the gauges inside of a M. And it almost actually does. Now, of course, you don't got 12,000 RPMs, but it kind of looks like the RPMs. If you look closely, you probably can't see it in the camera, but the back is carbon fiber, and you got some grills in the front. So this is the watch face I've been rocking for the last couple of days. Well, basically every day, feeling this one. All right, so that's beamer clock. It's in the Samsung app market. It's your boy Floss. I'm out. Deuces.